I forgot to mention in the other video some other things that came up for to be seen. Ugh, they were not pleasant. Um, I Now I have another little kitty cat saying hi down here. Yeah, so I also came face to face with my own cruelty. This one was a very tough one for me to see. You know, we all like to think we're such good people and enlightened, and that we don't see our own cruelty, but it's there. It's in every human. It's part of our animal nature. And for example, when I say your own cruelty, so if you have children and they're just driving you insane and you grab their arm or you do something, I mean, you don't do anything, but you're grabbing it or you're about ready to hit, right? You're just to that point, or you get a little bit stern with them, or you just like, you know, it's your own cruelty. And to see that clearly coming out of you when you had this image of being an enlightened, spiritual, loving person. For me, the image was a good person, a kind-hearted person. To see that in action, it's heartbreaking. And it's heartbreaking to see that, because when you're doing it, you're forgetting we're all one. We're all one unit. It's consciousness and consciousness interacting. And here you are being, this cruelness is coming up through you. Yeah, that one was a tough one to be faced with. And as I said, the image of being a good person, a pure-hearted person, you know, and these things are coming up to be seen that you're not here to be a good person. That's the personal ego self telling you what to do. I don't know if I can explain that. In this reality, in physical form, you're going to have both the good and the opposite. Okay, you're going to have cruelty with compassion. One can't exist without the other, and you have to be able to accept that in your own daily life and to not feel guilty or use self-blame, because ultimately, no matter what your ego thinks, there is really no free will, and the universe is using it as it need be. Now, that's not to say that cruelty can't go too far, right? But both of those, all those things, all those dichotomous energies exist and express themselves through this physical vehicle. And it is not for us to have guilt or beat ourselves up and judge us for that. It is an experience. Okay? Yeah, cruelty, you had to face that. I'm coming, here's something also, and I thought I might make a separate video, but I'll just go with it here. I also, this thing about words, I started becoming very aware of the words that I was using. And of course, another synchronicity, I heard this quote where the person was talking about how the words, we don't use words, the words use us. And I totally got it. We don't choose the words. We think we choose the words that we use. But in reality, and I've seen this written in other books now since I heard that quote, backing up this idea. In reality, the words are out there, right? In the collective consciousness, in your personal mind, words and thoughts. and they're a vibratory frequency, and they're looking for a home. They're looking for expression. So the words find you and use you based on your frequency. Boy, that's shocking, because I can be a little sailor-ish in when I'm kind of reacting when I'm totally, like driving or something. And I don't, those, curse words just come right on out, and it's kind of shocking. The words just find you and they use you because you are a vehicle for them. And so it's causing me to pay a whole lot of attention to the words that are coming to me and out of me. And I suppose things will get, as my mind clears up and I find a little bit of a drop embody more. And this is what all those teachers that you listen to, they are so embodied in their heart, and they wait for the words to drop into their heart. And I think what a beautiful exercise that you can just sit and see what words drop in first, and then drop a little deeper, because those first words will be mind or ego oriented. You got to clear away the mind, then you can drop deeper and deeper into presence or pure being, and then see what words just fall in. I think it will be shocking. So what a great exercise. Yeah. And maybe, if I were to sit here and get all zen and present, my method of expression would be quite clear. If I were to wait for the superb moment to express my truth. Yeah. And I can hear other words dropping in. So it's almost like a form of channeling. I'm not going to go there because I can feel right now the channeling energy coming in. So why am I saying all this? Drop into presence. If you want to communicate something, drop into presence first. Because up here, the collective words that really have lost all meaning will, I'm hearing the word abscond. I don't know what that means, but kind of cover up the true meaning that you want to express. This is something I'm going to work on because I think it's fascinating and seems really important. Anyway, this is a video not about words, but that's what's happening. Clarity with words and expression is coming up, and how the words I use are using me rather than vice versa. What else that I wanted to say? Oh yeah, some things about, so some phenomena has happened. I spoke before about this blue light, or the blue pearl. And while it's still around, it is changing. This blue pearl, and it's like I don't know if it's cyan or cayenne color, C-A-Y-A-N. It's that beautiful blue, and it was just blue before, but now it's blue with fire white kind of blazing out around it. And I had this one day. When you go out and you look at the sun and you end up with that black dot and you can't kind of get rid of it for about 5 minutes. Well, for about 5 minutes, just in the house, I think I was meditating, and I came out of meditation, and this blazing white light was just here, eyes open, like here. I know it was probably inside my brain, but it was right here, and it would not go away for several minutes. It was just a blazing white light. So I don't know what that's about. Also, drifting off to sleep the other night, the colors are getting like intensely more colorful, vibrant, um, that blazing yellow fire. I don't know, it's not yellow, it's like blazing white hot light, and my head is getting even whiter, brighter, intense, and more full. And then the other night, just drifting off, I saw this kind of red hot blazing fire. It was fire, and I knew immediately it was fire. And then right after that, a vision of a frame. Oh, I wrote it down because I had to share it with my teacher. I saw this, and it was the frame, and I knew immediately that I was burning things down to the framework. And when I showed this to my teacher, strangely, it's triangles and a line. And of course, I didn't pick up on the symbolism, but she was saying that it's, I can't quite remember, like connecting the dualities of experience. And she actually had a quote in her book about this blazing fire that is part of an initiation. So anyway, like I said, I'm not sharing this for any kind of ego. It's just fascinating. And I know you guys are having these experiences too. It's just fun to share. Okay, so be prepared to come face to face with your own cruelty, word choices, how they use you, and, just really kind of scraping out the barrel of every dark nook and cranny of your being. And we are not here to be goody two-shoes. We are here for the full human experience, and that includes the cruelty or the anger and the upset. It includes our animal nature, which can be cruel at times. I mean, look at animals, look at cats, how they just swat. Like, that's our animal nature. And it is okay. Okay, enough of me for now. Until next time.